Hey, I'm Nancy Cavey, National ERISA and Individual Disability Attorney. Welcome to Winning Isn't Easy. Before we get started, I have to give you a legal disclaimer. And the legal disclaimer is that this podcast isn't legal advice. While I have to say this because the Florida Bar Association tells me I have to say this, I will tell you that nothing will ever prevent me from giving you an easy to understand overview of the disability insurance world, the games that disability carriers play, and what you need to know to get the disability benefits you deserve. So off we go. There are quite a lot of hot topics in the disability insurance world that I've been getting calls about. And today I'm going to be discussing these hot topics. And they primarily revolve around work issues. The work issue is, should you quit your job or should you apply for your short-term and long-term disability benefits now? What's the strategy behind this? Is quitting a good move or a bad move? What you might want to do instead of quitting? What you have to do before you change jobs to protect yourself from financial ruin? And what you need to do if you have pre-existing medical conditions before you make the decision to terminate your employment. We're also going to talk about what you should do if your employer tells you not to file for short and long-term disability benefits and just apply for your Social Security benefits, and the real truth about your human resources department. And then lastly, I'm going to talk about the 3 things you have to do before you apply for short and long-term disability benefits. These are questions that I'm getting every day in and day out, primarily because of the great resignation that's going on and people deciding whether or not they want to move on to what appears to be a greener pasture, when in fact it can be a financial disaster and a medical disaster by making the wrong decision. Let's take a break.
Have you been robbed of your peace of mind from your disability insurance carrier? You owe it to yourself to get a copy of Robbed of Your Peace of Mind, which provides you with everything you need to know about the long-term disability claim process. Request your free copy of the book at kvlaw.com today.
Welcome back to Winning Isn't Easy. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the question I get all the time. Should I quit my job and should I apply for my short and long-term disability benefits? What's the timing here? Well, let's start out by stepping back. Are you struggling at work, wondering if you should quit work before you're fired? You don't know whether or not you should apply for your benefits or whether or not you should struggle. Well, one of the things I will tell you that you should never, ever do is quit. Quitting can be a bad move because that can kill your short and long-term disability claim even before you get started. Why? Well, I'm going to tell you what the reasons are why quitting is a bad move. And number 1 is you lose the right to apply for your short-term disability benefits because you no longer have coverage. 2, you lose the right to apply for FMLA. 3, you lose your vacation, PTO, and other leave benefits. 4, you lose your group insurance benefits. 5, you lose your long-term disability benefits upon resignation. 6, you lose your long-term disability claim because you don't have the requisite loss of wages before you quit, even though you might have been working while disabled. And 8, if you get a new job with new disability coverage and decide to apply for short and long-term disability benefits, your claim will be denied under the pre-existing condition clause. And 9, don't assume that you'll be better off applying for Social Security disability benefits or that you would get your Social Security benefits without a fight. Any one of these reasons should stop you from quitting. Now, I'm often asked, well, if I shouldn't quit, what should I do next? What should I do instead of quitting? Well, first, you should apply for your employer-provided short-term disability benefits and apply for FMLA to protect your job. And ultimately, if you can return to work, that's great. If not, you need to then apply for your long-term disability benefits. And most likely, you will be able to maintain your employer-provided benefits like life insurance, group health insurance, and any employer-provided contributions to your pension. Check with your Human Resources Department for more information. Now, some disability policies require that you attempt to have your employer accommodate your restrictions and limitations as a precondition to ultimately getting your long-term disability benefits. So it's crucial that you review your policy or plan closely before you go to the employer and say, I'm having trouble, I need to apply for benefits, or can we work on accommodations? The next question I get in this area is, what do I have to do before I change jobs to protect myself from financial ruin because I've got medical problems? Now, I'm amazed at the number of people who left their job in 2021. Over 3.9 million workers per month left their jobs. That's more than any time in the United States history. And here in 2022, this exodus is still continuing. But let's talk about the practical problems with this. According to the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, 50% of non-elderly Americans have a pre-existing health condition. Now, if you've purchased shorter long-term disability benefits with your current employer, that can help you provide a safety net if your pre-existing condition prevents you from working. But you can lose that safety net if you leave your current employer and you don't have any disability insurance benefits on your own to cover your situation, or you don't basically sort of COBRA, if you will, or convert your group disability policy or plan to an individual disability policy plan. And I don't want to confuse you. You can't quote unquote COBRA your disability insurance plan. You've got to convert it from a group policy to an individual disability policy. You will be offered COBRA coverage opportunities from your employer if you terminate your employment so that you can continue to get medical treatment. But you need to understand that both trying to COBRA your medical coverage and then to switch your group disability insurance benefits to an individual disability policy is really going to be expensive. And that's particularly true if you have a pre-existing condition. Now, I want you to understand the impact of this, because if you think that Social Security is going to be your safe haven, you're wrong, because the amount of the Social Security benefits can be hard to live on, and you have to be on Social Security disability benefits for basically 24 months and then 5 months of the waiting period, or a total of 29 months before you get insurance coverage in the form of Medicare. So you can see that this is kind of complex, and you've got some decisions that you want to make. Certainly, you don't want to quit, right? Got it? All right, let's take a break.